Well, here I am. I arrived at the airport a little bit early, ready for my flight to Vancouver. Um, I'm going to be dropping the last chapter of Chasing Quicksilver tonight. It'll go up tomorrow. Today's March the 30th. And it just happens that the 10th chapter, the completed work, is going up the same day I'm arriving in Vancouver for my adventure. And it wasn't planned this way specifically. A whole bunch of things came together and it made this happen. And it also happens to be a full moon. Or I'm sorry, it's a new moon tomorrow, which ties into some of the thematics of the work that I'm doing. The airport is a crossroads. And the last chapter is called The Lord of the Crossroads. It's not me. But the airport is a place where people are coming and going from all directions, from the 4 directions and all the nations. And it's an exciting trip for me to be embarking upon, because I'm going to go see my friend George. And George was the man who, in a conversation in 1997, inspired me to think about the thoughts that led me eventually to writing Chasing Quicksilver, a story about a vision quest, my own. And there are still questions unanswered and things incomplete, and I'm going to be traveling back across the country via car, visiting with some Indigenous elders and storytellers, and some other influential people on some specific issues that are important to me, and to projects that I'm working on that I'll talk about in more detail. And so this is in the last chapter of the book, I talk about the god Hermes being the lord of the crossroads, and statues of Hermes being still standing at crossroads in the Mediterranean as a patron of travelers and a patron of transformation and change. And there's lots and lots of story here, but there's a tremendous amount of power when you're traveling. If you're traveling in a loose and go with the flow kind of way, all kinds of magic can happen. Oh, there we go, getting used to this new gimbal. It actually has a track feature that I haven't figured out quite how to manage yet, so this is a bit of a test. And I'll be putting up videos, I think, on a regular basis. I've got a portable podcast studio set up in addition to the tracking gimbal I've got here, which I can take video on the fly, and it's got a stabilizer. I've also got a dual camera set up with dual direction shotgun microphone, and battery powered to LED lights, so that I can set up an interview just about anywhere. And that is actually set up in my backpack. So whole portable YouTube. The only thing that I haven't solved yet is the memory issue. So my iPad's a few years old and doesn't quite have the size of memory that I'm going to need. So that'll be one of the things that I'll be looking at in Vancouver tomorrow. Just trying to get some external drives and figure out the camera setup. I grew up in Vancouver. It took me a long time to think of Ottawa as my home after I left, and I really do love the city, and I'm glad I'm going to be able to spend some time there and see some friends and connect with the ocean and the mountains again. Not the same here in the flatlands, even in Ontario, compared to the mountains out there. You get up into the mountains, it's like you got big arms, warm hug around you. It feels really safe. Although my friends from the prairies that I tree planted with were just horrified by it. They're used to the wide open spaces, and they felt claustrophobic and a little bit intimidated. But not me. Can't wait.